On this episode of Food Rhymes in Life, we'll be visiting the city of Kaohsiung, Taiwan, for a glimpse into the unique food stall culture at the local night market, as well as a little bit of Taiwanese hot pot and a tantalizing array of seafood, after which we dip back into Taipei for some noodles and dumplings. I'm your host, Stabby Organs, and if you want to support the show, please subscribe, like, or share with a friend. And don't forget to ring the bell. I make all original music for the show. I've left my Spotify link below, and without further ado, please enjoy the video. Alright, so I'm here at a night market in Kaohsiung, of which I cannot pronounce the name of. I see the spelling, so I'm just going to put it on the screen and you guys can read it. I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but they've got all sorts of cool looking little foods and finger foods, and some people with more elaborate cooking setups and whatnot. So just going to have a look around and get something to eat. Okay, so first stop is I saw them hand rolling some pork dumplings. They're potato, pork, and onion, I believe, if I read the sign correctly. So, of course, when I see them doing hand-rolled, on-the-spot dumplings, I gotta try these, right? But she seemed like very militant in the way she was operating and didn't seem like super stoked on having someone all up in their grill trying to film stuff. So I gave them their space, took a quick little shot, and yeah, we'll sit here and wait for the dumplings. I'm sure they're gonna be delicious. And remember, if this dough's a-rollin', don't come a-trollin'. Yeah, little old lady just dropped off the dumplings. She didn't seem super stoked on the camera, so I'll let her be. So we'll get a little bit of sauce going here. They got the proper fixins here. We got some soy, some vinegar, and some chili. Very necessary, the chili oil. Freshly rolled. Let's give them a try. Oh, man. That is so good and so far superior to the stupid little frozen ones I had at the night market in Taipei. These actually remind me of, I have like Finnish ancestry in my family line. So my mom used to make pierogies, and I think she got the recipe from her grandmother, I'm sure. And the dough on the outside of these actually remind me of like nice freshly made pierogies. And then the filling in these is just brilliant. It's that pork, onion, just a really delicious flavor. I wish you could be here to try these. They're some of the best dumplings I've ever had. Absolutely beautiful. So I will say, like, if you're traveling around countries where they don't speak any English, and it can be kind of intimidating going to some of these stalls because you don't really know how to order. You just like point at something and you know they probably don't want to deal with you. They're like, oh, here comes this foreigner that can't speak Mandarin or any Chinese dialect, but we got to deal with them anyways. But you just kind of got to get over that and go try everything you can. You'll be happy that you did. Ooh. One?
Spicy?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Here at Food Rhymes in Life, we only sample the finest, most aristocratic delicacies. Okay, so what we have here is chicken feet skins with garlic and chili, just to maybe gross you guys out a little bit. We're gonna give this a shot here. But he put a lot of extra chili, so actually I'm gonna go grab a bubble milk tea to eat with these, because I think that will calm the fire a little bit. Okay, so I'm set up on this makeshift table here with two styrofoam coolers because they weren't letting me sit anywhere else. So we'll get into these chicken feet skins. Oh, they're cold too. So, if you're not used to eating chicken feet, this would really gross you out. For me, I've been exposed to them a fair bit. It's a lot of collagen, but these are nice and spicy, which makes it better. It'd be nice to have some chopsticks instead of these little toothpicks. Some of these pieces you can just devour right up, which I like. I don't like having to crunch around everything. Big spice. I'm gonna put this whole foot in my mouth and see if I can just crunch it down. No, you can. Okay. So these are cooked in a way that allows you to just munch them right down. That's actually way better. It's a decent snack. This is actually a beer snack. I don't feel like drinking alcohol, so we do have the milk tea with the brown sugar, and we'll stir that up. Get a bit of that brown sugar going there. Get the bubbles perforating. Ice, milk, brown sugar, bubbles. Excellent. So if you've never eaten cold chicken feet with garlic and chili on a makeshift table behind a food stand made of 2 styrofoam coolers, you're not doing it right. You're not living. All right, so that was interesting with the chicken feet. We'll look for one more thing here, have a little stroll around, have a look, and then call it a day probably. Takoyaki, a ball-shaped snack of Japanese origin, traditionally made from a batter made of wheat flour. Please forgive any contradictory commentary in the video to follow. To be honest, I'm still a little bit confused. All right, so there's nowhere to sit down and eat these things. They don't have any of the prime real estate where you can sit down at a table. So I've set up on the side of this power thing beside 7-Eleven here, and I get the feeling these are of a Japanese concoction because she was using, she put wasabi, soy sauce, and like some flaky fish stuff on the top. But an interesting process that they had there, watching them roll the eggs and whatnot. That's cool to check out. So yeah, definitely that flaky fish flavor on the top. She said they're really hot. Oh, it's too hot. There's a super gingery flavor in here, wasabi. And then, why are they so hot? I guess there's, okay, I'm opening it up. And there's a little bit of squid on the inside here. Then carrot, onions, and ginger, it looks like. And then the whole concoction is just made of egg. But it gives kind of a doughy texture. I always thought these things were, I never tried one. I always thought they were like a dough, bready kind of thing. And they do give off that texture, but it's actually just the egg folded over and browned on the flat top. Yeah, these are all right. Nothing crazy, but tasty little carnival snack. So I've come to this little hot pot restaurant, and you see these all over Taiwan. I'm sure they're kind of common all around Asia, it seems like. And we've ordered a hot pot for one, which looks like a lot of food. We've got tofu, clams, mushrooms, corn, fish balls, cabbage, lettuce, some type of green bean, garlic, green onions, regular onions. We've got a spicy sauce, and then some nice ribeye beef to go in there as well. So we're just waiting for the hot pot to heat up a little bit here, and then I'm just going to start adding stuff. We've got what look like vermicelli rice noodles also to put in there, bulk it out a little bit. It's going to be a big lunch, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be delicious. When adding to this mutant amalgamation, it's best to be conscious of one's digits. As a former kitchen hand myself, I know that watching one's own skin bubble is an experience better left to the masochists and their gimp masks. So of course, first thing we're going to try here is this beautiful ribeye. It's hot. It's been thoroughly cooked by the broth. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's pretty good. Then we've got which looks like fish roll to me, possibly. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of fish roll, to be honest. And we'll try the broth here. It's a pretty simple flavor. A little bit of spice because I asked for the spicy one. But that's the thing. With these hot pots, they get better as they go along, and the longer that it cooks for, and you add more ingredients and blah, 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 it tends to improve over time. Okay, so it's as I suspected. as I continue to get into this thing and the taste matures through the cooking process, it starts to get really delicious. So the flavors that are revealing themselves to me now, mainly from the soup paste, would be more of a sesame-based, chili-based, umami kind of flavor. And then once you get the extra fresh garlic and onions and everything mixed in there, it starts to really bring this kind of beautiful flavor together. And the interesting thing about some of the mushrooms, this one in particular brings like almost like a beer flavor. It's really cool. And it complements the soup so well. Like, I'm really starting to get it now. I recommend, if you're in Taiwan or in any other Asian or Southeast Asian countries, go treat yourself to a hot pot. Better to have multiple people around and everyone enjoys it together, but if you're solo traveling like me, it's still a worthwhile thing to do. As day turns to night in Southeast Asia, often a lust for spicy seafood and cold local beer begins to simmer. And who am I to ignore the preordained destiny set in place by something much larger than myself? We're off to try to get a little bit of dinner now. I've been hearing about this seafood restaurant with fresh prawns, so I'm gonna go give that a look and see how it is. So yeah, I'll see you there. So I've come to this little seafood restaurant here. They're known for their fresh prawns. I don't even know the name of this restaurant because it's, even on the website, it's all written in Mandarin. So, you know, there's some authentic stuff here. And they've already brought me out a couple dishes here. So we've got a water snowflake, which is, it's an underground plant native to tropical Southeast Asia. And then we've got a Cantonese noodle with garlic sauce. And a classic, some Taiwanese beer here to go with. I've ordered spicy seafood, and I find that's like the best combination ever, is spicy seafood with beer. So let's get into this water snowflake here first. You can see it's got a brown topping here. I don't know exactly what it is. Let me give it a try. It's got a kind of fermenty, fishy kind of flavor to it. And then you can see we've got some chili and garlic also. That's really good. Crunch in your mouth, really fresh, beautiful side dish. So we've got a Cantonese noodle here, and it's got diced green onion on the top. These Cantonese noodles are like, they're a bit of a wider noodle. Big egg noodles is what they are, I believe. Nicely cooked, a little bit soft, but really, really garlicky. And I love that, especially with the beer. Like, these are just drenched in the garlic sauce. It's right up my alley, actually. Yeah, I love garlic, so. And look at the steam coming off these things. Nice and hot. Yeah, that's a satisfying noodle. Just a punch in the face of garlic, fantastic. All right, my prawns have arrived, and how beautiful do these look. Just covered in garlic and chili. Scallions on top, wow. This looks unbelievable. The prawns have been beautifully dissected and butterflied open. I'm not sure how I'm gonna eat this with chopsticks, to be honest. I might have to get in there with my hands a little bit. It looks like this dish has a bunch of vermicelli noodles, and it's swimming in like a sauce that I'm guessing is kind of the runoff from the prawns, and then mixed with something that's making it red, so probably something spicy. Nice vermicelli glass noodles, tasty. Yeah, so they've been butterflied open by the half. I'm not sure how to eat these. I've never attacked prawns in this style before. Perfect texture, and then like a nice bit of garlic punch and chili stinging on the tongue. The reviews that I read about this restaurant said it's perfect drinking food, which I concur. And then you can see they've got like this, like the guts on the outside, basically. The brains, the shrimp brains, which are good. They lend like this creamy texture, not too pungent or strong in flavor. I'm not sure that it's possible to eat these with chopsticks. I think you kind of have to eat it with your hands. Hopefully I'm not making any cultural faux pas. So right after I finished, I saw this Taiwanese guy sitting at his table, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna study this guy's technique to see like how off I was. And he delicately and elegantly and daintily picked his shrimp apart with the chopsticks, with just like holding a finger down on the butterflied skin and nicely pulling it off. So that made me feel kind of stupid. I was looking like an absolute animal. I'm sure it was only him and the wait staff in there, so it wasn't like a lot of people looking at me funny, give me the side eye or anything like that, so all good. We're now in the Datong district of Taipei, which is supposed to be kind of the most local feeling district in the city, is what I've read online. So we're gonna check a few different things out here. Two different kinds of dumplings. So one is like a long pot sticker, and the other one is more of a zhilongbao style steamed dumpling. And then I've ordered some sesame spicy noodles. So right away from these noodles, I'm getting like this really fragrant aroma. And at first I thought it was like a ginger flavor that I was smelling, but I'm starting to think it's more of like the mala spice mix flavor that comes from Szechuan cooking. If you didn't know any better, when this came out, you would think it was a spaghetti bolognese. The noodles here in Taiwan are really special. They do them really well. And this is just like a simple noodle dish, really cheap and really delicious. And then we've also got two different kinds of dumplings here. We've got the pot stickers and steamed dumplings. This will actually be my first pot sticker style dumpling that I've had in Taiwan. And as you can see, it's got that beautiful brown crispiness on the outside. These are a little bit longer, more boat shaped than some of the other ones. Taste some ginger in there, onion, cabbage, pork, and I really like it here. They've got it set up so you set up your own dipping sauce, and I put in vinegar, soy sauce, sesame oil, minced garlic, chili oil, and minced chilies. Made it pretty spicy and garlicky. It's just such a money flavor combination, so good. So I've got 10 dumplings here. Beautiful handmade dumplings, beautiful handmade noodles, everything delicious, and it's like $6 or something crazy. You can see why local people like to come here. All right, we'll try this other dumpling. Pork and shrimp, just such a beautiful combination. You can't beat it with this sauce, so really beautiful stuff here. Love the little local restaurants. So it's my last day here in Taipei, and I was like, all right, screw it, let's just go and take a wander around the streets and find one last lunch here. So I've stumbled upon this giant river, what does it say? Giant river shrimp noodles is where we're at. I don't know, I like to give the atmosphere of the street if possible sometimes when I'm eating, so I'm just anticipating these giant shrimp noodles. We'll see how big the shrimp are. Hopefully they're nice and fresh and delicious, and we'll have a nice last lunch here in Taipei. Ooh, cheers. So this is about a $9 bowl of soup here, and it looks worth every penny, just even having a look at it here. We'll try the broth first. So it's a clear broth, not super pungent in any way. I'm not sure if it's a vegetable stock or a shrimp stock. I would think it's probably just a vegetable stock because there's not like a super strong shrimp flavor in it. We've got some pieces of what looks like pork here. Yeah, that's pork. So pork and seafood actually are a fantastic combination. You see it in a lot of Asian dishes. We definitely dropped an egg in here, and it's kind of just it's perforated the entire bowl of soup in that way that like just dropping basically a boiled egg, not hard boiled, but just an egg straight into the soup does. We've got some chopped scallions and some Chinese kale, just classic stuff. Some kind of a deep fried thing here. When you bite into it, there's like a pink seafoody tasting liquid, so it could be shrimp of some sort. But it also gives kind of a Thousand Island dressing look and taste a little bit too. This one actually does have some really big shrimp here. Look at the size of that thing. That's pretty sweet. It's so hot though. So we're gonna suck some of these shrimp brains out. Really fantastic fishy flavor. And we'll stick that right back in the soup because it adds to like the flavor of the stock. And this is like a proper bit of shrimp right here. And it's got some of that brains on the top. Looks like a salted egg sauce. That one like bursts in your mouth when you bite into it. It's got that amazing texture. All in all, really nice lunch here on the street. Beautiful.